Last time on Races to Places, Lyndon and Basil were passing through Settle en route to home. Welcome to the last episode of Season 14 Races to Places. As Lyndon said in the last episode, returning home is the end of the first chapter, but not the end of the project. One of the questions Dario asked Lyndon was, how did this whole Races to Places thing come about?
What was the moment that inspired you to leave your job and go and set off on this journey?
Yeah, I had an accident running a marathon in 2013 while training for Red Bull Romaniacs. I overdid it. They thought I had a heart attack. It was a combination of exhaustion, dehydration, toxins in my bloodstream. It was a hectic time and I was in hospital for 9 days, and that's when I decided I really wanted to, if I wasn't there, like I almost lost my life, and if I wasn't there, everything that I've ever worked for is gone. So I had that moment of, well, actually, if I sold all the things that I have, the material things, I could have a really great experience in life of travelling around the world, and that's what made me decide to do it. But I often get asked as well, what's the hardest part of Races to Places? And I'll say it again, and I've said it before, the hardest part of this entire journey was making the decision to go and do it in the first place. And for me, that still stands true today. Despite everything that's happened, the hardest thing was making the decision to do it in the first place, and it's been the best decision of my life.
So I thought for this last episode of Season 14, I'd go back over the last 5 years, picking out some iconic parts, the highs and the lows, and say a few words about what I thought looking through the footage as it arrived. Going all the way back to episodes 1 to 3, I spent quite a few days with Lyndon, filming the genesis of Basil. When I was in my 20s, I spent a lot of time mountain biking and really enjoyed the different designs of bikes and how they were put together. So when Lyndon invited me to the build of Basil Bike, I was straight there with my camera, watching him spin them spanners. I'd seen Lyndon ride bikes before, but this was the first time watching him in the workshop. Immediately I saw how organised, precise and focused he was, and it was really cool to watch. Basil wasn't a new bike, so for a journey this big, everything would have to be checked and replaced if needed. So a complete strip down and rebuild was in store. Basil's frame was checked for any stress marks or damage, then sent to the powder coats for a freshen up. Once Lyndon had everything ready for the build, he began and worked non-stop to completion. It was 2 long days, but well worth it to capture great footage of a very skilled human being build the steed that would carry him around the world. So Basil complete, the next thing was to give him a test run to make sure everything was tip-top before hitting the road properly. Graham Jarvis fancied a bit of MX practice and some go-karting. He also knew that Lyndon was looking for a place to test Basil, so invited the two of them along to Fat Cat Motor Park Doncaster for some ripping and tearing.
Carters have settled into their lines, it's clear that the main competitors here are Poskett and Jarvis, and neither one is going to back down until the tanks are empty or someone serves up some food.
A few tears were shed from the Poskett family as Lyndon and Basil departed. I mean, this wasn't your average couple of days Jolly Boys outing, he was going to be away for some time to complete this mission. From leaving home, Basil and Lyndon worked their way through Europe and onto the stands. En route, they called at the Mother Russia statue, where Lyndon caught some great shots, and I began my research for the voiceover, finding out that the 200 steps up to the statue symbolised 200 days of war in the Battle of Stalingrad.
We love trudging around in the boots and the Gore-Tex gear in 40 degrees. We get to see amazing things like this memorial up here.
As the footage started to return from this part of the world, I'd done a bit of geography at school on the area, but knew nothing about the people or the culture, and how many of them were willing to give Lyndon and Basil a homestay for the night.
We've met on the streets of Saratov. He just followed us on his Yamaha Super Tenere and offered us really kindly a nice place to stay. Went and bought fresh homemade beer for us, brought us these amazing freshwater shrimp that are called raki in Russian. And now we're probably going to stay at his place here tonight.
Hey Mikey, I'm doing some cruising through the back streets of, where are we? Engus Marks town, back street, bicycle cruising. Check the chopper out. This would put the Green Dragon to shame. Lucas! Lucas! Go, go, go!
Making their way from the stands into Russia, the next point of interest were the BAM Road and the Old Summer Road. Lucas Matzinger rode this area with them. Looking back on this footage, it reminds me how extreme things got and how many river crossings they had to tackle. Departing from Magadan south into South Korea saw a huge change in culture, where Lyndon and Basil spent some time island hopping and tasting the local cuisine, and also had a trip up the Seoul Tower. Next it was over into Japan for some beautiful scenery, a different type of cuisine, and to ride with Yuji. I'd read online about a derelict theme park called Nara Dreamland and thought this would make a great feature for an episode, so I had a phone call with Lyndon and suggested it. I was unable to edit season 4, so my friend Tom took over and helped out. I picked back up in season 5, where it kicked off in Bangkok. I think one of the earliest clips in that episode was Lyndon eating a scorpion and then washing it down with a Smirnoff Ice. I think a cool episode for me in season 5 was episode 2, where Lyndon and Basil crossed a bamboo bridge. It could really take some weight. Episode 5 of Season 5 saw some delicious food. Dave from Adventure Spec, who initially did the voiceover, definitely got very excited when food was mentioned. Season 7, we're in Australia.
Another day, 'cause I'm all done fading away, 'cause I'm all done. This is why I go on and keep running. Always working fast and hard, never thinking about now. Believing I'm happy thanks to all the things that I have to try. I wanted peace, I wanted to be fine. I wonder why I cannot just sit for a while. I really want to see what it looks like. To have a moment I know that would be mine. Save me from everything. Tell me where to find my way. Just love me something.
I'm going to skip into New Zealand Season 7, Episode 7. I really loved editing this one, as we opened with a feature about the world's fastest Indian bike. I decided to watch the Anthony Hopkins film about the fastest Indian, as I knew it would give me a good feel for it. Another reason this episode really stood out for me was due to the amazing scenery at the end where Lyndon took an outdoor bath. Sifting through all this wonderful footage prior to editing made me really think about what a wonderful job I had. I tried my best to use every clip Lyndon had filmed and always tried to select where I thought the best bits from the onboard camera were. So, Alaska. This is a place I've always been really interested in, and I've watched many wildlife programmes from here. I always try to put a mix into each episode: fun, information on the local place, and scenery. An episode that definitely had some fun was Season 8, Episode 2.
Right, 3, 2, 1, come on! I gotta record it! Let's go!
Lyndon would move his way from Alaska and the north down into America, where he would meet up with Eddie Meek for some awesome riding through Utah and Colorado. Eddie really mucked in and they rode some serious terrain.
Oh, thanks, mate.
You can have that.
Cheers. What is it? Well, you need that, mate.
Next on the friend list to arrive was Tony, who would spend a few weeks with him visiting places such as the Garden in the Jungle and help with Dakar preparations. Season 9, Episode 5 would see Lucas Matzinger rejoin the show for some epic nighttime hill climbs.
It's a lot of work, but proper teamwork. These guys are solid. We're pulling the bikes up. Check this out.
All right. Lucas on the front, Tony on the rear.
After South America, Lyndon wanted to put a special feature from his visit to Burning Man with Camilla. So I did my best to pick the music and style that suited. When that episode was released, I can remember seeing a comment from a follower naming Camilla and Lyndon as Camden.
Somebody actually brought a 747 to La Playa.
From Burning Man, things would move into Africa, where the feeling I got from looking through the footage changed again. The locals were so friendly, and there really was some epic scenery.
Guys, I just can't believe it. I'm absolutely blown away with the scenery. It's just so amazing. Like, I made the decision to ride today when I didn't get done with the heritage site until 2 o'clock, but boy am I glad I did. Check it out!
Season 11, Episode 9 was a good one for me, with the dune riding, and also the episodes where Camilla joined for the safari.
Maybe we're on the right track.
Just close it.
Sit still, sit still. I shit myself, man. Did you see the elephants?
Another Africa episode I'll pick out is Season 11, Episode 12, with the ride up Van Zil's Pass. Lyndon asked me to make sure I put all 3 attempts in this episode. Races to Places has been an epic around-the-world journey for Lyndon and Basil, and I'm proud to have been part of it. Hopefully it gave you guys watching the same great feeling I had editing it all. Once again, a massive thank you to everyone who's followed Races to Places. If you're thinking about going on a journey, then why not capture some footage, get it edited, and then share it out to others online? My thoughts are, it's not about the camera you use, the software you're editing on, it's about the story that you're telling. Video is a powerful tool. If used right, it can really inspire others. So make it and share it is what I say.